It's interesting that Sony has now demonstrated the actual power of the Xbox Series X. Not Microsoft and Xbox by creating a first-party engine to highlight the graphical capabilities of their products, but Sony and the Decima engine. Death Stranding 2 dropped a shadow drop on the Xbox Series X and S, and by all accounts, it is very, very good looking on the Xbox, as well as we know it's great looking on the PlayStation 5. Here I am playing it on the Xbox Series X. You could pick it up for $20 hairs, and I don't know how long that deal is going to last, but let's get into this video because I do find it interesting that, well, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. First off, Hideo Kojima leaves Konami. We know why he left Konami. I don't know if it was that they were horrible to him, or maybe he was just this, I don't know, difficult person. Who knows, but he gets the benefit of the doubt because to some people he is the greatest video game creator of all time. Created Metal Gear on the MSX and then Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation, and the rest is history, and we're all the way up to Metal Gear Solid, whatever we're up to at this point. And he wants to create a new studio after leaving Konami and a new game. And Sony hand delivers the Decima engine that they created for their first-party games, starting with Killzone Shadowfall, going on to Until Dawn, and then Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, and those two games have been upgraded for the PlayStation 5, and conceivably they're going to be upgraded again. Forbidden West already is for the Pro, and I'm not sure about Zero Dawn, but they hand deliver this engine to Hideo Kojima, and he creates Death Stranding. Now, I don't know where you fall on the whole Death Stranding is the greatest game ever. I can tell you that it's not for everyone. I've gone back to it, left it, gone back to it, left it. But I will say that the Decima engine, in my opinion, is the best engine in terms of what you're seeing on the screen. Horizon Forbidden West, I keep talking about the game. It is the most next-gen game this generation, even though that engine scales to the PlayStation 4. When it came to the PlayStation 5, obviously, they upgraded everything. They even rewrote some of the water physics. It looks much better in the game. And then you've got the patch on PS5, and we're going to go on to the patch on PS5 Pro. But it's interesting that Microsoft themselves developed the Slipspace engine. Remember that? It was supposed to be the engine that was going to take Halo into the future. We saw a bunch of animals walking around in the forest. We saw some great lighting. We saw something under the water as Marines walked by. And then we got Halo Infinite, large open nothingness. And now the money that they spent on Slipspace thrown out the window, and they're going to Unreal Engine. But the Decima engine on the Xbox Series X proves that the highest of the high end when it comes to something that you're seeing on the screen, like a game like Horizon Forbidden West, well, surely that can run on the Xbox Series X and look phenomenal. Death Stranding, you're seeing it here, is a great looking game, and it's on the Xbox Series X. And it is interesting to me that Sony's in-house engine is a proof case for the Xbox Series X and not something that Microsoft themselves created to showcase their ecosystem. You know, they're the ones that are big on this ecosystem, so where's your in-house engine created to take advantage of the specific capabilities of your hardware? Well, Sony brought over the Decima engine. That's really interesting to me, and I thought, you know, it's strange to me that it took all of this time for something that was really graphically impressive like Death Stranding to become a third-party game. And this is what's interesting. So Hideo Kojima takes the Decima engine for free. Here's an engine because you're Hideo Kojima. And we get that deal signed for Death Stranding. And whether or not you think Death Stranding is a game that pushes PlayStation, or there's a ton of fans out there, I don't know. I'm not saying that. But it's interesting that he wants to be third party. He wants to be independent, and he purchased back the rights to Death Stranding, which is strange because if you think about it, Death Stranding 2 obviously is using the Decima engine, right? But is he going to be able to use that engine going forward for something else he's doing after Death Stranding 2? Because he doesn't have these huge deals with Sony anymore. He's a third party, and that's their engine. So it's interesting. It is interesting that he took it, made a great game, putting it out there that it's a great game. I know there's a lot of division around it, but you know, he makes the game with the engine for free. All that cost he didn't have to incur, And you get Death Stranding 2, Decima engine, obviously improved, going to look better, hopefully play better. But then after that, what happens? Does Sony just say, sure, use our technology even though you're a third party? And OD, the game that was going to be exclusive for a time period, and I don't know if they ever actually said that, but surely at this point, because he owns that now too, that's going to be everywhere. I just think it's interesting that they gave him so much in terms of their engine, and they alleviated so much cost by giving him that engine. Then he buys the rights back from them, and he's using the engine for Death Stranding 2, and what does he use next? I don't know, but it is interesting that the Xbox Series X, with all of Microsoft's first-party games and all of the trouble that they've had and all of the releasing games that are just absolutely positively either broken or just like horrible looking, to the point where you're like, is this really the capabilities of the Xbox Series X? Because your first party is supposed to highlight the capabilities of the Series X, and they haven't done that. But Sony and an in-house engine, Decima, is highlighting the strengths of the Xbox Series X, not Microsoft and their first party. So let me know what you think about that. I'm playing Death Stranding 2 again. I never finished it. Got pretty far into the game, but I got kind of like, oh God, I have to walk again. I'm walking somewhere. Or I could ride this bike somewhere, but it's electric and it runs out of batteries and I got to pull over and charge it. And I don't know. But it is a fantastic looking game because of that engine. And one of the strengths of PlayStation was pointing to that and saying, look at the Decima engine, developed to take advantage of the PlayStation 4, push it to the max, take advantage of the PlayStation 5, take advantage of the PlayStation 5 Pro. But now that engine is on the Xbox Series X, and yeah, the game looks just as good. So if Microsoft could get their act together and create something that pushes their own hardware in a way that's maybe a lot better, or at least comparable and exclusive, which isn't going to happen, maybe things would have been a bit different this generation. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching the video. Do you like this shirt? This is my Larry shirt from What's Happening. From What's Happening? I'm thinking about No Roger, No Rerun, No Rent. My Larry shirt from Three's Company. Larry. Do you remember Larry? I bet you don't. Anyway, like and subscribe. See you in the next video.